Welcome to the Magic on Main Street podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Tabitha.
Over the better part of a decade, our little family has lived the Disneyland lifestyle. As an ex-cast member and now longtime annual pass holders, we've been surrounding our lives with Disney. From Disney bounding to pin trading,
exclusive items and all the food,
we've fully immersed ourselves in the culture that Walt built. We've done it all and have made some great friends and memories over the years.
We'll be sitting down with friends and other Disney junkies to share our stories and advice.
We'll be your one-stop shop for Disneyland history and trivia and all the insider information you could ever ask for on merchandise, food, shows, attractions, and everything else you should know about the parks.
Our goal is to bring a little magic to your ears each week by sharing our Disneyland journey with you.
This is Magic on Main Street.
And here you may savor the challenge and promise of the future.
Welcome!
Hello!
Welcome to episode 5. Episode cinco.
That means 5.
That's
in
what it
case
means.
You're not bilingual.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us again on the Magic on Main Street podcast. I'm Sean.
I'm Tabitha.
And with us, as always, is the man behind the sound, the Colonel. It's Daniel Proc. Dino Proc 95 on Instagram. That's always fun. And always a treat. We've got our little kid. She lives here, so it's no surprise she's here. It's Kenzie.
Hello.
Hello. You'll get it. Don't worry. You'll get there. You'll find your voice. And let's not forget about our cute little mascot. It's Scar the kitten.
I think he's asleep on your backpack.
That's fine. Leave him where he's at. I don't want him sleeping on my clothes. All right. Well, we've got a huge show for you. We've got 2 big topics, but before that, we're going to talk a little bit about some new segments. We're going to be talking about this week in Disneyland history.
Yay.
We're going to do Hidden Mickeys with the kid. We've got some closures in the news, some attractions that are down. Boo. This is the time of year, though. That's what happens. It's off season, folks. Closures and earlier hours. Got some new merch. There's a popcorn bucket that is out of this world.
I like what you did there.
And some delicious new treats on Buena Vista Street.
I can't wait to eat
I know.
it.
I'm really excited.
So excited.
There's some news. Actually, there's some new items on our calendar, which will give you some information on how to subscribe to that. And also these 2 big topics, big stuff coming up this Friday, just a couple days from now. Rise of the Resistance. We're going to talk about how to prep for that new attraction opening up.
I feel like my whole life has been leading up to this moment.
I'm right there with you. I've avoided spoilers, and I'm really excited to get into this ride. And then also, we're going to be talking about something that we had brought up a couple times. We're going to talk about Disneyland raves and rock shows.
My favorite topic.
Yeah, this all stemmed from that conversation about Videopolis coming back for the 80s night on January 28th. Okay, so some news in the world of tickets. They're actually doing a Southern California residence ticket. It actually brings the 3-day, 1 park per day tickets down to as little as $67 per day.
That's a steal. It
is a steal. So one thing to remember is you don't have to use these consecutively. You can use these whenever you want. They just expire May 21st this time around.
Yeah, so you can't save them for Christmas.
No. And you can actually have up to 5 tickets per eligible guest per day with a valid ID. So if you have tickets that you need to get for your friends or family, any trips that are coming up, anything that you plan on doing soon, this is a heck of a deal.
Now's the time.
Yeah, so I would definitely jump on that. And don't forget our sponsor, Carpelli Grooming and Personal Care. They'll take care of your beard, your hair, your skin, your tattoos. They've got all kinds of soaps, oils, balms. And if you order now, you'll get free domestic shipping for orders over $30.
Their tattoo balm is fantastic.
It's phenomenal, actually. It makes your tattoos shine up real nice. So check them out on carpelli.com.
Ding.
Huge show. So we'll get right back to it in just a minute. For today, welcome back. Today we're going to kick off the show with a little something we're calling This Week in Disneyland History. It's a new segment. We're going to be telling you a little bit about what's happened in history on this week. Okay, in 1955, this week, they made the formal announcement of the new $10,000 Disneyland Hotel in Anaheim.
That's insane.
$10,000.
$10,000.
Yeah. So they made that announcement this week. It was actually obviously before the park opening because it's January.
They can make $10,000 if one family stays in a suite for 10 nights.
I know. And then, but get this is kind of cool. So then in 1989, the Walt Disney Company acquired the Rather Corporation, whose assets included the Disneyland Hotel.
Oh.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So 34 years later, they purchased the hotel from the company that had opened it.
Took long enough.
I know. Pretty cool. In 1962, construction began on the Disneyland Swiss Family Treehouse. It opened that following November, almost 2 years after the December 1960 release of the movie Swiss Family Robinson.
You want to know something?
Yeah.
I have never seen Swiss Family Robinson.
I saw it when I was a kid. So I knew what it was. Like as a kid going through the treehouse, I knew what the movie was. But I mean, that was ages ago, eons ago.
Because you're so
old. I know.
Yeah. People talk about it all the time. And they're like, oh, remember when it was Swiss Family Robinson, not Tarzan? And I'm like, nope.
No. I actually heard somebody complaining about it. Oh, I wish it was Swiss Family Robinson again. I'm like, why?
I know. Do you?
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. But in 1970, the Legacy of Walt Disney opened on Main Street, USA. And it featured a display of Walt Disney's awards and other memorabilia, along with an exhibit on the California Institute of the Arts.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. And then, most recently, in 2017 this week, the Main Street Electrical Parade returned to Disneyland. Probably for the last time. Well, it did come back one more time, but...
I was like, not for the last time. It was literally just...
That was 2017. But yes, most recently it was in 2019. So probably will be the last time we see it.
I'm okay.
A lot of people are. But, you know, for me, there's a big nostalgia. I remember seeing this when I was like a small lad.
I would just really like for Paint the Night to come back.
I would love if Paint the Night came back. So anyway, that's this week in Disneyland history. Yay. Up next, the news. So there are a lot of closures.
It's that time of year.
Yeah, it's that time of year. It's not surprising.
Nobody
it's just,
wants to be there.
It's a lot. That's not true because it's packed lately.
It wasn't too bad on Saturday.
No,
but
it
we
wasn't too
also
bad.
got there in the evening.
We did.
And
we got there.
Cold.
It was very cold.
It was so cold. I
So what's
felt
closed?
it in my bones.
What's closed at Disneyland?
Okay, so as of today, January 15th, It's a Small World is still closed until Friday the 17th. It'll open back up. The Mark Twain River boat is out of commission until the 1st of February. Snow White Scary Adventures, they actually just posted photos, and a lot of people who have been there the past few days saw that they put up the structuring around the attraction. So that is officially down. It was an estimate of 2 months, but as of right now, it's a TBD for the Disneyland website. So hopefully when it comes back up, there's some really good improvements. 'Cause
I hope so.
that ride is lacking.
I just don't like it very much.
You get crushed by a boulder.
Well,
and then they all lived happily ever after.
but who lived happily ever after?
Don't know.
Okay. What's up? What else?
Haunted Mansion Holiday. This is going to be the last weekend to ride. That's going to be going down on the 21st. Again, a TBD. They're thinking 2 to 3 months. Because from what I was reading, that like a lot of research that people have done, everything in that place gets so destroyed during the holidays because they're moving stuff in and out and things are getting dinged. So they got a lot of painting to
Yeah, I'm
do.
sure after a few seasons, they got to
Yeah.
get back in there and clean it up a little bit.
Definitely. And then King Arthur Carousel, that is going down on the 21st as well. Again, another TBD.
Everything's TBD.
I know.
It's killing me.
But it'll all be back before spring break hits.
Oh, for
'cause
sure.
They've got to have everything up and popping again. A fun little fact that I read on Disneyland News today. You know the Sword in the Stone in front of the carousel?
Of course I do.
Someone broke it.
Are they the true king?
I assume so. There was like
This is epic.
I know. There was like firsthand accounts that people had like contacted them saying like, oh yeah, like we saw it happen. I guess it was this guy. It was a first timer. Like his friends were joking with him like, oh yeah, if you pull the sword out, like you get to become king. And I guess he was like a pretty buff dude. Pulled the sword out, broke it. Like nobody was mad at him.
No
They were like, no, this
way.
is like super old. Like you're fine. Like, But yeah, they like thought it was part of the thing, and then cast members were like rushing, like, oh no,
Oh
what
no.
just happened?
Yeah.
So they had to like close it all off. But it's back out, and they shined up the anvil and everything. It's all pretty.
Nice. I love that. It's such a simple little attraction, but it's so much fun. It's a great photo opportunity. So I'm glad it's back and up and running.
Yeah.
It's not probably not as cool outside of the anvil.
No.
What else?
Sailing ship Columbia is going to be going down February 3rd. Again, it's a TBD. Don't know how long, what for, what's going on.
Yeah.
Carthay Circle.
Oh, right.
I really hope nobody wanted to get some biscuits
The-
this month.
I want some biscuits. The lounge and the restaurant.
Yes, both
The whole thing.
closed through the 30. Both closed through the 30th.
Yes.
So you'll be able to get back in there February.
And then, they still have Red Car Trolley listed as refurbishment. We talked about this in like the first episode or the second episode.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Because
Why don't they
we had
just
talked
call it
about, they said goodbye to the show.
the show? But
But
yeah.
because
Anyway.
we still don't know if the track is disrupted with
Nope. We have no idea.
Marvel Camp.
We'll see. Also closed over at California Adventure is Grizzly River Run on the 21st.
Which that's fine. It's
Yeah,
cool.
it's cold. And the bakery tour is going to be closed. So get your
My
bread before.
bread!
Yeah, I know. Grab your bread before the
They're
21st.
taking all of my bread from me.
And those are all TBD as well. So those are the closures going on soon. What else? Merch. I feel like this is just the never-ending story. There is always new merch. I don't know if you guys saw our Instagram. Head over and look. There's
I saw so much
tons
stuff.
of new merch. So we saw, we posted on our Instagram to let everybody know the Baby Yoda Mandalorian spirit jerseys were back in stock as of when we were there.
We were there on Saturday.
Also, the black and white spirit jerseys, just the plain black and white. Those were all back in stock, and they had quite a bit. The really exciting thing that we saw and that everybody's really stoked on is this new Millennium Falcon popcorn bucket.
That thing's really cool.
And so this is a little bit of a tip for you. They're doing not only popcorn in this one, so you can get it at the popcorn stand right outside of Star Trader over in Tomorrowland. So not only can you get it filled with popcorn from the popcorn stand at right outside of Star Trader in Tomorrowland, but you can also get it filled with fries.
French fries?
French fries. So, and that's going to be at the Galactic Grill in Tomorrowland, right there where Tomorrowland Terrace is. The little, this is the inside tip here, all you folks out there that don't know already. You can mobile order fries in the new bucket. And let me tell you,
Hacking the system.
this thing is cool. It's not
enormous.
One, it's huge. I mean, it's huge. It's the
not
size
very
of
functional
a.
for popcorn.
No.
Though. The way I was looking at it,
No,
I
not really.
can't fit
But
enough.
forget
popcorn.
functionality. This thing's awesome. So it's huge. It's about the size of like a large pizza, maybe bigger. No, about a large pizza. And it lights up on the back. It's got some really cool lights. It's huge and it's super rad. So if you want to get it with popcorn, that's fine. Do that at the stand. But if you want to order it ahead and not have to wait in line, go get some French fries.
Yeah, because that popcorn line, when we were there Saturday night, it was Saturday night like 10:30, and the line for the popcorn stand was all the way to that bottom entrance to Tomorrowland Terrace.
Yeah. And it was actually longer. It was on when I was there last Wednesday for Anaheim Ducks Day. The line wrapped a few times. They had a little tape queue line, and it was wrapping. So it's popular, but they haven't run out yet. Knock on wood. So check out the new popcorn bucket in Tomorrowland. That's class. What else? Oh, really good idea. And this is more of a tip than anything. It's not really something new or anything innovative, but Disneyland carries throw blankets. I don't know if everybody knows this, but if you go to the shop, there's shops on Main Street right next to the photo shop. They actually carry throw blankets.
Down towards the very end of that shop where they have like all of the snow globes and like the little precious moments glass figures or porcelain figures. That's where all the blankets are.
Yeah. So there's a lot of them and they look really warm, and it's been really cold lately. So little tip there, if you run out of warm clothes and you need something bigger, a little heavier, or if you need something to sit on for the parade, whatever the case is, they have throw blankets. So just a little tip there for you.
They're pricey.
They are pricey. They're like $40.
But they seem like they're good quality.
Yeah,
so.
they do. And some are thinner than the others. There's some thick ones. There's some thin ones. The decorative ones, cutesy ones. There's a ton. So check them out. A lot of Pixar stuff over on Paradise Pier.
Yes. The new Spirit jersey that they have that has the Pixar ball.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it's really cute. I like the colors.
Yeah, there's a picture on our Instagram. It's all the normal Pixar colors. They've got a Spirit jersey. They've got a hat that's yellow with the star on it, like the logo. They've got T-shirts. They've got a Buzz Lightyear Spirit jersey. They've got a Woody Spirit jersey. We've
never
backpacks.
really taken the time to look through that Knick Snacks
store. No, we haven't.
That's right there across from
Lamplight. Yeah.
They have really, really, really cute Pixar stuff.
I really liked it. And they have a really cool photo wall. If you're looking for a really cool, innovative place to take a photo, there's a photo op in there that looks like a claw machine.
I have been chosen.
I have been chosen. So pretty cool.
I'm still holding out for a Coco Spirit jersey.
I know. They have to. Oh, they better. I hope they do. It'll be great if they do. But they did have a cute little Coco hoodie in that shop. It had a sugar skull on the back in kind of like rhinestones.
That's cute.
Yeah, it was really cute. And then last thing on my list for merch is all the Lunar New Year stuff. We talked about it last week.
Everything looks really cute.
But they put out a lot of pictures. You'll see that on our Instagram as well. There's a Spirit jersey, which is really cool. It's red. Obviously, it has some Oriental writing on it. There's a T-shirt. There's a set of butterfly mini ears. They have an ornamental. They're really cute.
There's no bow in the middle.
No,
I mentioned that before.
But they look like it looks like a butterfly, but also like cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
So really, really pretty. They have a cool little longevity noodle baseball hat.
That's cute.
Yeah, and then if you didn't see the ornamental pin, it's gorgeous.
I love that.
Check all that stuff out on our Instagram at Magic on Main Pod.
One thing that I really liked that I think I forgot to mention earlier when you were talking about all this merch that we saw, they have a lot of really cool, like, throwback Goofy movie merchandise right now.
So much.
They've got Powerline stuff. They've got the Bobby's Pizza shirt, which I want so bad.
Goofy movie and Goof Troop.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to buy me anything for my half birthday, it's coming up on the 22nd. That's my half birthday.
That's a thing.
I would love the Bobby's Pizza with the Leaning Tower
of Cheese.
That shirt is great.
No, it's great. They have a lot of really cool stuff. So much new merch in the parks. You're going to find it at World of Disney. You'll find it in the parks, both sides. It's everywhere.
A lot of
and
stuff
it's
is on Shop Disney too. So for those of you who can't get to the parks, there is a lot of it on Shop Disney.
Yeah. Or find a friend. I actually just purchased some Baby Yoda Spirit jerseys for a couple friends that are not near the park. So find a friend that can pick some up for you.
We got you.
Yeah. So check out all of the new merch on our Instagram. We're always trying to keep that up to date. So that's at Magic on Main Pod. What's next?
My favorite topic.
What's that? Food.
There's a new churro.
Oh, tell me about it.
It's a fluffernutter.
Oh, it's heaven, fluffernutter.
At Lily's Churros on Buena Vista Street.
Yeah, we put this on our Instagram too, and it looks delicious. It looks like a churro with.
It kind of looks like the s'mores one that they did.
Kinda, but with peanut butter sauce and marshmallow
and
chocolate chips. It looks so good.
It looks like I would eat 7, have a really bad stomach ache, and still be like, I could eat one more.
Yeah. I'm really excited to try that one out. You know what I've been seeing in people's Instagram feeds like crazy? I didn't see it there while I was there this week. But so at Award Wieners, you can get their film strip fries, but they actually have a new offering with those fries, which is carne asada fries. So those of you that live in California, I know I'm in heaven. I'm so excited. Those of you that live in California, you know what carne asada fries are. Even some of you that don't live in California, some of your states might have them, but it is kind of a staple in California. A lot of like hole in the wall Mexican restaurants will have carne asada fries. And this plate is no different than what I've eaten all of my life. It's got marinated carne asada, cheddar cheese, cilantro and onions, and then it's got salsa de arbol and guacamole on those big old fries. It looks so good.
Delish.
I'm really excited to try those.
I know what we're getting the next time we go.
Oh, yes.
And you can mobile order out of Word Wieners.
And then step right next door and grab a fluffer nut or a churro. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you. Thank you, Disney.
Thanks for not allowing me to lose weight. It's great. I appreciate it.
So we actually checked out the new menu. We say new, but this menu's been around for quite a while.
For some time now.
Right. We just haven't gone in a while. So River Belle Terrace, it's the restaurant right on the river out across from where you board the Mark Twain next to the Golden Horseshoe. It is a seated dining experience. So you have to either have reservations or wait at the podium. Mm-hmm. So we went in on Saturday night and we had a fantastic time.
And mind you, we didn't have reservations. We just kind of walked up and said, by chance, do you have anything? And it was only like a 20-minute wait.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. They left chairs out in the front so you can actually have somewhere to sit. And they were actually getting ready to prep for Fantasmic. Mm-hmm. So it was a pretty cool experience.
Indoor only at that time.
Right. No seating on the patio. But we had a chance to look over their menu and they had a lot of great food options. Something that I had not really paid attention to in the past, but I'm so glad we did it this time. So what did we get? We started off with...
We got a
chopped salad. And we got it with chicken. So this salad is one of the best salads I've ever had.
It was really
so good. It has like garbanzo beans.
And for me to say that is weird. I'm not a salad person. Yeah,
they put a barbecue ranch dressing on it.
Oh, so good.
So good.
I was looking for something like it at Walmart because I was craving it again.
No, it was really good. I was really impressed. And then for the entrees, we split dishes kind of. We shared the skillet mac and cheese. What did that have in it?
It was mac and cheese that had pimento cheese. What were the other two cheeses?
That's where that zing came from. Yeah, pretty good. But it also had brisket in it.
Brisket and crispy onions.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Manchego, I think.
Yes, that sounds Manchego? Right. The server said it was his favorite cheese, and I'd never even heard of it before.
Yeah,
but it was fancy and it was delicious. Really enjoyed that. And then I got the
burnt ends grilled cheese
sandwich. Oh man! And
they had tater tots.
Yeah, so the seasoned tater tots. It also came with a side of baked beans. So yeah, you get a choice of your side, and I chose tater tots.
You know how some places have too mushy of tater tots?
Oh, these were crispier than I've ever experienced in my life. The seasoning was amazing. They were so good. And I actually got and this is, I'm not picky by any means, but it does come with a peppercini and pickle relish. I opted to have that put on the side, and I'm glad that I did because I feel like it might have overpowered the taste of the sandwich.
Didn't look too good to me.
It was good. It was a delicious sandwich. I was really impressed.
Yummy. I liked it.
And
it wasn't just dry burnt ends. They had been tossed in barbecue sauce before they put them on the sandwich.
Man, I want it again. I'm going to eat there a lot. I have a feeling we're going to end up there quite a bit. But then also, we ended up for dessert. We got the cookie butter monkey bread. And we were actually... we made some new friends. We'll talk about them in just a little bit. But yeah, so we made some friends over our dinner and we chatted a lot about what we were eating. And they ended up, I saw that they ordered the same thing on our way out. They got some cookie butter monkey bread. It was so
worth it. I had such a bad stomachache, but it was so good. I couldn't stop eating. It was one of those things where you're like, oh, I shouldn't have any more. But then you see yourself like reaching for another bite. It was delicious.
Well, I was kind of mad at myself because I started eating, and right when I started eating is when I started having the conversation with our neighbors at the restaurant, and I only got a couple bites, and I was so bummed out by the time we left.
I'm so thankful for you because you are the one that holds conversation, and I can just sit in the back and go,
So that was our weekend dining experience.
Delicious. Would recommend.
Highly
and they
recommend.
have fresh brewed iced tea for you iced tea people. It's not the Gold Peak. It's fresh.
That's not something that they offer everywhere at the park. So yeah, if you want a good glass of tea and some amazing food,
nummies,
highly recommended. Check out our Instagram. We put some pictures up. And Starbucks is kind of jumping on the bandwagon of this Star Wars craze that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And they've got a couple specialty drinks that they're allowing you to order. One of them is the Baby Yoda.
Which I really wish I liked what it was.
It's
Just so I could order it, because obviously I love Baby Yoda.
Yeah, but it's matcha green tea. Yeah.
Not my jam.
Not everybody's favorite, but you know, they'll sell a lot of them just because of what they're called. Mm-hmm. And then there's also the Chewbacca specialty drink that they're making. And yes, you can order these by name. You can ask for a Baby Yoda or a Chewbacca, and they'll know exactly what you're talking about. And the Chewbacca is actually...
The Chewbacca Frappuccino is basically just like the double chocolatey chip Frappuccino, but there's coffee. So I guess that would be a Java chip.
Ah, yeah.
Because it's mocha. Daniel wants that.
I know.
It's mocha and Frappuccino chips, and then even more mocha sauce. Mm-hmm. And
it's
then
very
they
brown.
have like a cookie crumble for the top.
Yes. So the Baby Yoda and the Chewbacca available at the Starbucks around the resort. But I'm also hearing that if you order these drinks outside of the park at other Starbucks, maybe the one near you, they know what they are. So it's worth a try. If they don't know what it is, we can put up the recipes with a Instagram post. It'll say exactly what the drink is, and you can order it by the ingredients and take a cool picture.
I love it.
Deal? Deal.
Solid deal.
Solid deal. Okay, we're back and we have another new segment. And this one was something we've been talking about, and somebody actually just brought this up with us. So Tabitha and I went into the parks and had some dinner, as we mentioned. And we kind of ended up in a conversation with the table next to us, which was a couple folks that were just super nice and super awesome. And they were going to be doing some video recording. The girl that we had met, her name is Carly June Allen, and we'll put a link down in the show notes. She actually has a YouTube channel that she's kind of filming her life and vlogging it up. And she had a friend with her, and his name was Noah. And Noah is an ex-cast member, really cool guy. We shared some really cool similar stories from when I was a cast member. And he had asked about some information on where to find a hidden Mickey in Batu. And so I had told him, well, that's, funny you say that. That's a segment that we've been wanting to introduce on the show. And so for this first segment of Hidden Mickeys, this one's for you, Noah. In Batu, there are actually 2 hidden Mickeys, but for this episode, we'll just talk about the one, and this is again for Noah. Hope you're listening, bud. So there's a hidden Mickey, and if you are in around Docking Bay 7, you're going to see 3 blaster holes in a very familiar configuration. It's a Mickey, and it's right on a wall right there in Docking Bay 7. So look up, look around. It's pretty obvious when you're looking for it.
How exciting.
Noah, I hope you see that next time you're around. And for those of you that have requests for a certain land, let us know. Hit us up on our Instagram at Magic on Main Pod. So now for the real segment, we're kicking it off. It's Hidden Mickeys with the Kid. Hello, Kenzie.
Hello.
And you have a hidden Mickey to share with us.
Yes, I do. So my first hidden Mickey is on the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and it's 3 wheels or 3 gears upside down at the first outdoor incline on the left side on the ground.
Why don't you walk us through it? So you get on the ride, and then where do you go?
So you go through the Bat Cave. Mm-hmm. Then, that sounds funny.
It made me laugh too. I had to move away from the microphone because I laughed.
So yeah, you go through the Bat Cave, then you kind of go like in a turn, and then you start going a little faster.
Uh-huh.
And then you do a little roundabout, and then after the Coyote Den, you kind of do another roundabout, and then that's where the hidden Mickey is.
So it's right when you come out of that tunnel.
Yeah, it's right.
That first incline.
Yeah, it's like right after that first tunnel.
Right after that first tunnel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, kid. That was fun. So that's our first Hidden Mickeys with the Kid.
Hooray!
If you have any requests on where you want to see a hidden Mickey in the park, we can do some research for you. Kenzie probably already knows where it's at. She's got a wealth of knowledge in that little noggin of hers. So thanks so much.
You are welcome.
And why do you need to hang on to your hats and glasses on the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad?
Because it's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Yes, it is. Okay, up next, events. So if you didn't listen to our last episode, we actually put together a calendar for you. This is going to have
I'm going to give you some glory here. We did not. You put a lot of work into that calendar because I am very unorganized. So great job.
Well, thank you. I've heard already that it's really helpful because we're putting in all of the upcoming events, upcoming openings for the new attractions. Closures was a little bit too much on there. It kind of clogged up the pipeline. So that's not on there. But you will find all of the pertinent information for your Disney trip on there. All you have to do is head over to our show notes. There's a link to our calendar. You just click add all and it'll start subscribing you to that calendar. So anything we add on there, you're going to see on your calendar right on your phone. Pretty neat.
We'll make sure we add our half birthdays on there.
But notably, yeah, exactly. Our half birthdays. But most notably, this week, Friday, the 17th, the Lunar New Year celebration opens up, and that is actually running through February 9th. And then that morning of Friday, the 17th of January, it's going to be a day that goes down in history.
It's going to age me.
It's one for the books. Rise of the Resistance opens at Disneyland Resort. Now, this has already opened at Walt Disney World. And we have avoided all the spoilers, all the Instagram posts. We got through all the cast member previews this week. We've been pretty good. We haven't seen anything. So we're going to actually get there really early and, or late, I guess, and, join in on the action. And so we'll be talking about that a little bit actually right now. Let's roll right into one of our major topics for the evening.
I've done a really good job of avoiding Rise of the Resistance spoilers. And I really hadn't had any problems. Like I do follow a lot of people that are at Disney World and nobody was really posting anything. But I swear this cast member preview hit and everybody's posting anything. I can't open any of my social media without seeing a picture.
Yeah. Hey, cast members, take it easy.
It's just a cast member preview, guys.
Take it easy. We want to see it for ourselves. Chill out. No, I get the excitement though. But yeah. Take it easy.
Seriously.
So we put together some information on how to prepare for this big launch. It's a brand new attraction in a brand new land. This is unprecedented. It's not like anything you've ever seen before. It's going to be an amazing ride, multiple ride systems, a great story that walks you through your rise against the First Order as a resistance fighter. Again, we don't know all the details, but I know that much. But here's a little bit of information just to get you through that opening. So I've been hearing rumors and I will not confirm or deny them because I don't know, honestly. And I've heard from APs, I've heard from cast members, I've heard from everybody. And none of the stories are accurate, but this is the most consistent information I've received. So it sounds like they are going to have parking available later in the wee hours of the night. There is a rumor that 12 a.m. Toy Story is going to open up for parking, or I guess it would remain open.
Yeah,
it wouldn't open. But also 4 a.m. you're going to be able to park in Mickey and Friends and Pixar Pals. Again, these are all rumors. Not quite sure if that's true, but if you do want to get there early/late to kind of get ahead of the crowds, you can do that. But also on that note, no solid information on whether or not there is going to be somewhere you can line up, how they're going to open it up to passes or tickets. There's just not a lot of information. We're going to keep you as posted as we possibly can. But you're going to have to look at our Instagram for those updates because we'll post that as much as we can.
Nightmare.
It's going to be crazy, but
I'm nervous.
The first thing you should do, this is the first way you can actually prepare for this. If you have not downloaded the official Disneyland mobile app, one, what are you doing? Two, do it now. They're setting up the virtual queue again. And so this is also something where there's conflicting information. Some are saying that they're going to be doing a virtual queue for the day. And others are saying that they're going to fill the physical queue first and then open up the virtual queue. So if it does go to a virtual queue, well, it will go to a virtual queue. We just don't know if that's how it's going to be from the start. It might be physical and then virtual. So when it does go to the virtual queue, you'll want to go to the Disneyland app. They have a dedicated module for Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. And then you're going to access the boarding group information. So here's how it works. You request to join a boarding group to ride the attraction once you've entered the park. So you have to be inside the park.
What I've heard, I don't know if this is true either, but what I've heard is you can't be in, like, it's not going to count if you scan into DCA. Like, they're checking scan-ins to Disneyland.
And I hope that's the case.
Me too, because DCA has Magic Morning Hour.
Yeah. So boarding groups will, once you do sign up for a boarding group within the app, you'll be sent a push notification when it's your turn. And then you can monitor the status of your boarding group through there as well. There's going to be the ability to join a boarding group from select locations inside the park if you don't use the app. So if you don't use the app, don't worry, you're not in trouble and you're not out of the loop. You just have to go to a dedicated area for boarding groups.
It's going to be so much easier if you just download the app.
But get the app. I know. It's link your ticket, link your pass, get the app, and just make sure you do it because
trying to get to it's going to be just like everybody rushing to get a fast pass for Space Mountain at 8 a.m.
Yeah,
like,
it's going to be nuts. So there is also going to be signage throughout the park that will display boarding group status, which is nice because they're trying to keep everybody informed. And it is all subject to capacity. There's like 100 boarding groups. And if you're not in on one of those, you're not getting in on the day on Friday.
Have they said how many people you can add to your party for a boarding group, or do you have to each do it individually?
No, you can add a boarding group. This is similar to what they did with Galaxy's Edge when they anticipated it being super busy and not being able to just walk in and out.
I have anxiety.
I know it's a little bit nerve wracking, but it'll be fun. It'll be awesome. And so something to get ahead of, and it's been kind of packed, so you might be out of luck at this point, but check in, see if you can get in a reservation at Savvy's Workshop, go build a droid at the Droid Depot, try to get into Oga's Cantina.
Calm your nerves with a beverage.
But yeah, everything's going to be available via the app. And then they are encouraging you to live out your Star Wars story and dress the part while visiting Batuu.
Should I wear my jumpsuit?
But you can. They're not. So they're still enforcing this costume policy that they have. So you can't really wear a costume unless you're under 14.
There goes that idea.
But it's, this is a great thing for them to say. They are encouraging bounding in Star Wars attire. So that is permitted.
I could come up with something in the next few days and I could wear my Leia ears.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Leia ears. I don't know if we ever showed the fans that set of ears. We'll have to put that on the Instagram. It was briefly mentioned in an episode, but yeah. And make sure that when you are out and about in Batuu, download the Play Disney Parks app because there's a lot of interactive stuff you can do around the galaxy.
Kenzie loves using that app.
Yeah, there's the data pad. There's a bunch of stuff you can do. So,
like, oh wait, guys, I gotta hack this real quick.
Yeah, just hacking, no big deal. But it'll help you fill the time. So we're really excited. We're excited for you. We want to see your experiences. Feel free to tag us in your photos on Instagram at Magic on Main Pod. We will share our experience. We will not give out spoilers. We won't talk about the ride for a while in detail, not on the main feed at least. Maybe we'll do that in a side story. But we do not want to spoil this for anyone. We know that people are on their own schedules and people have, things that they plan their Disneyland trips around. Even if you are a pass holder, you might not be able to get down here. So we're not going to spoil this for you, but we will share our experience. We will share how it made us feel and what we liked and what we didn't like on general terms. And then we'll talk about it a little bit more in depth on a side story.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So stay tuned. Lots of cool stuff coming. Mm-hmm. This next topic came up because we have been talking about this Disneyland After Dark event on January 29th. It's 80s themed. And when they announced this, they actually talked about how they were bringing back a cool little experience from the 80s, which was called Videopolis. So we went ahead and we did some research. We looked into this and kind of came up with a cool topic on what we're calling Disneyland raves and rock shows.
I kind of wish I was a teen in the 80s.
It was a really cool story.
Yeah.
So the way it happened was in 1985 and all the way through 1989 in Fantasyland, where the Fantasyland Theater sits now, there was nothing. And Michael Eisner was really trying to appeal to teens And so on the back of a placemat at a Chinese restaurant, wrote down an idea to bring together a teenage dance party.
So random.
Very, very random. They want to call it Galaxy, and they wanted it to be hosted at the Tomorrowland stage. But they kind of had to scrap the idea because the stage was needed for something that was pretty huge for a long, long time, up until just recently, which was Michael Jackson's Captain EO. So
I still get that song stuck in my head every once in a while.
Yeah, I know.
If we walk by there, like it just like triggers a memory.
I miss it a lot. I still wear a Captain EO pin on my Disney jacket.
do?
Yeah, I miss that attraction. So, nostalgia. But in 1985, they had their first meeting, and the club opened on June 2nd of that same year. And they
were
called it...
quick with it.
What was the nickname they called it? The 100-Day Miracle or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, because it took a very short amount of time for them to get it off the ground, and it was actually pretty successful.
So when it first opened, it kind of functioned the way it does currently. It had musicals and performances during the day. So like right now, they do Making the Magical Map there during the day. But at night, it would completely transform into like a little teenage nightclub. And they had a 5,000 square foot dance floor.
That's huge.
Yeah. That's a lot of dancing.
That is a lot of dancing.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah.
And they even had live musicians. New Kids on the Block played.
Isn't that cool?
That's your favorite.
I know. Hanging tough.
Janet Jackson performed.
Which is insane. I mean, New Kids on the Block, that's a big name.
Yeah.
But Janet Jackson, that
Yeah.
was a huge name even back then.
Yeah. And the Wiggles.
And the Wiggles.
The Wiggles played during the day.
Oh,
Younger
so not
kids.
like for
but
the
they
teenagers.
still performed there in the 80s.
How weird. I didn't think they were around that long.
They've been around forever.
How funny. They even had so it was kind of similar to what they have nowadays, or most recently. They had a snack bar there. So it wasn't serving alcohol, but it served snacks.
Yums.
Yums with a Z. Yums snack bar. And so in researching this, we found out that they actually had a season pass, not an annual pass, a season pass, and it was good for any night after 5 p.m. And they were selling this thing for $40.
That's so cheap.
Well, at that time, it was probably it's like $100.
It's 2017. The inflation put it at like $95.
So yeah,
But even that's so cheap.
No, totally. I mean, if you were looking for something to do, in the evenings and you were a teenager,
Thank you.
That's not too bad. Yeah. But yeah, so after 5 p.m., $40, they could get a season pass just for that summer, right?
Yeah.
And incidentally, this turned out to be like one of the best views for the fireworks show.
Oh, yeah, because they launched all the big fireworks before it wasn't anything, but now it's Toontown.
Yeah,
But
that used
that's
to be
where everything
the
launched.
main site for launching fireworks. Fireworks. Why did I say it like
now
that?
they have to close down like the entire back of the park
Yeah.
because they have so many different places they launch from.
There's a lot of them. But yeah, so one of the ideas when they launched this was actually having a TV show with it. And so from 1987 and
They called it an MTV-esque TV
Yeah,
show.
an MTV-esque show from 1987 and 1989, and it was on the Disney Channel, and that was it took place on location. So they were showing, it was kind of like a Soul Train kind of vibe, where it was live dancers and breaks with entertainment and celebrities. There was a video of that they showed. We were watching something on this topic, and it actually showed Mario Lopez from before he was on Saved by the Bell.
So this guy is at the max.
This guy's been around. I know, chilling at the max. This guy's been around. He knows. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. But that show, unfortunately, ended around the same time that the club closed itself. But they didn't really close the show because it wasn't successful. They actually did a good job, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But there was some really interesting information about rivalries.
Yeah, so Knott's Berry Farm had opened up 2 clubs, quote unquote clubs as well. They had Studio K and Cloud 9. And they kind of had problems with like crowds back and forth because it kind of drew some lines between like LA County kids, because there was the rich kids who could afford to go to Disneyland and the less off kids who had to go to Knott's Berry Farm.
Which is crazy.
But Knott's Berry Farm ended up becoming more popular because it was more easily accessible.
Right.
More people could afford to go to
Yeah,
Knott's Berry
for
Farm
sure.
than they could to go to Disneyland.
Which is not, it's not a big shock.
No, it's still the same way.
Yeah. So at that point, they changed it over to a daytime only attraction
In 89.
in 89, right? And that's when it kind of started to take a turn. And that's when they named it Fantasyland Theater. Theater ER, which is funny because
2013.
they renamed it in 2013 to Fantasyland Theater. RE. It's so funny. But like I was saying, they didn't close really because it wasn't successful. They really closed because they had a special production in 1990, and that was for their 35-year celebration.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so long ago.
I know,
We're
so long
celebrating
ago.
65 years.
Yeah, 65. Yeah, so insane. 30 years later. But yeah, they kind of played second fiddle to Knott's and
They kept saying
club.
they were going to bring it back, but I think this was just the 90th or the 35th celebration was just a really good excuse for them to get rid of it.
Right.
Because some stuff was going down.
Yeah, there were some really weird happenings there. I encourage you to go read on some of the things that happened. There was a lawsuit. There was weird stuff, weird rules
really
about who
wanted
could dance with who.
I really wanted to say murder.
Murder. And there was actually, well, we don't have to go into too much detail on this, but this actually incited a gang brawl, like literal gangs
In the parking
lot. Yeah, it didn't end well.
And think about how close the parking lot was to the park in 87.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was interesting. But the reason we brought this up is because Disneyland tried a couple other concepts after this, but not until 2010. And it was actually
a break.
Yeah, a pretty big long break. But
if you research it, I think you'll understand why they took such a long break.
There was a lot of weird stuff that happened there. Again, I urge you to research this on your own. But yeah, so in 2010, October, and this ran through April 2012, they had a fun little attraction at Disney California Adventure called Electronica. This whole thing was, centered around Tron, which
wasn't brand new.
No, it was very old. They hadn't released Tron Legacy yet. So
they were trying to hype it up because it came out in 2010.
Yeah, very strange. But they had music, they had dancing, there were obviously beverages, and a recreation of Flynn's Arcade from the Tron franchise.
So I wasn't going during this time. I didn't get my pass until 2013. Mm-hmm. When we did go to Disneyland, we didn't really spend any time at California Adventure, so that wasn't really a thing for me. So I didn't know anything about Electronica.
I missed it too, yeah.
Yeah, I was watching videos of it, and it was really cool. They had all these projections all the way up
all
and
over
down the street.
Yeah, and that's why people were so angry because while Mad Tea Party, which is what replaced it, was cool, there was definitely a diehard Tron fandom going on in the parks at that time.
I saw old pictures. There was a picture of this one girl that said I love Tron, but this will do for now. Standing in front of the Mad Tea Party sign.
Right.
I was like, that's crazy.
But yeah, so they had Laserman. They created and performed tricks set to music with lasers and lights.
I watched that too. Really cool.
Very cool. Laserman Reconfigured is something that came out after that, and it was just new choreography and new music from Daft Punk. And that was actually from Tron Legacy. And then there's a huge grid-like DJ platform, so similar to what you'd see in the movie. They had a lot of really cool stuff in there, and a lot of the attractions.
The arcade was really
The arcade was
cool.
great. They had 80s themed arcade games like
Donkey
Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., Popeye, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Pole Position. Yeah, they had all these great, it was like a replica arcade from the 80s.
Oh, little fact that I found when I was researching it, Craig Pierce, who's a Disney Imagineer, they claim to have the world's only coin-operated version of Space Paranoids.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
So that, I guess, is from the original Tron.
Yeah. That's great.
That's pretty neat.
But yeah, we missed that generation. What we came into as pass holders in 2013 is Mad Tea Party.
That was my jam.
That was our jam. So in doing some research for this segment, we started pulling up some old videos of, the dancers that would grace the dance floor. A lot of our friends.
Cry a little bit. I'm not
I
even
know,
gonna lie.
very nostalgic. We watched a lot of the performances from our favorite performers. All of them are great. So in June 2012, and this went through November 2014, there was the Mad Tea Party. And so it went on for a couple years. They closed it from December 2014 through May 2015. And they made it freeze the night. So it was Frozen themed. That's when Disney was really
more Frozen down our throats.
They were really going to town, and they had like a snow sledding in the back.
In one of the buildings. I remember that.
And Frozen themed stage, and they did music from the movie. And so that was for a little while. And then Mad Tea reopened for Disney's Diamond Celebration in May 2015. And that went all the way through March 2016.
That was when they had their final show.
That's when they had their final show. And they had back there,
so sad.
I know, it was we were there. We were there for all of this. And it was a great time. They had a couple bars there. There was the Drink Me Bar. And they had Mad Long Island iced teas and cotton candy lemonade. They were alcoholic drinks with glowing ice cubes in them. Really
Cotton
cool.
candy lemonade was the non-alcoholic.
Right. The Mad Tea, the Mad Long Island iced tea was definitely alcoholic.
Very strong.
And then they had a croquetini in a martini glass that lit up. And then, so they had all kinds of really cool stuff. They kept the arcade, but they rethemed it.
Yeah.
And it was the Mad Arcade.
After seeing I liked the Mad Arcade, but after seeing the pictures of the Flynn's Arcade for Tron, that one
definitely not as cool. Yeah, Tron beat that out for sure. And then, but they also had, it wasn't really like well-known games.
No,
it was games based.
them.
Yeah, it was themed games based on Alice in Wonderland.
One thing I did like though, they had skee ball, and
They did.
I get down on
they
skee
did,
ball.
which was fun. But entertainment included a lot of really cool stuff. They had the White Rabbit DJ, which we had a few of our favorites, DJ Jason Jass, and my all-time favorite, DJ Wendy Walker, who's still there and still rocking out all the time.
Still have one of Jason Jass's mixes on my phone that I listen to every once in a while.
Yeah. He became an actual contact of ours. We talked to him frequently. Same thing with DJ Wendy Walker.
Such nice people.
And they're great people. And you'll see Wendy Walker around the parks. If there's a DJ set up and you see a crazy redheaded DJ lady, that's her. She's amazing. And she takes good care of all the fans. There was the hottest deck in town,
The dance,
which was a hip hop dance crew, which was really cool. Me being a dancer, I really enjoyed that. They performed on a high rise stage in the middle of the little area there. There were, the Tweedles.
Yes.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum, which was a really weird take on. So
with their boots.
Yeah, when you saw these characters, it wasn't anything you would see from the movies. It was just a different reimagination. Tim Burton-esque, but still not the characters from the Tim Burton version of Alice in Wonderland. So the Tweedles were actually like German bondage costumes. It was very strange, like big, tall, like the very tall boots that went up high on their calf.
They had D and Dumb tattooed on the
D and Dumb tattooed on the backs of their necks. Yeah, they had neck tattoos.
Yeah.
How funny for Disney to do that. But then they also had like people riding flamingos.
The Stilt Walkers.
The Stilt Walkers, which was really cool. They had the Who Are You show, which was a rainbow Slinky Man guy.
I never understood it. I was always just like, what is happening on that stage?
It was a cool show.
Yeah.
It was just this giant, imagine a giant walking Slinky. It was very weird. And then they had the Dueling Queens aerial show, which was if you're familiar with like silks or aerial rings, like it was a show with two of the White Queen and the Queen of Hearts, having a battle out on the aerial stage. But the feature and the big deal at Mad Tea Party was the Mad Tea Party band.
My favorite.
And so if you never saw this band, it was led by the Mad Hatter and Alice. They were the front man and woman of the group. They had the March Hare on bass. They had the Dormouse on guitar. And they had the Caterpillar on keys. And who was the drummer?
Cheshire Cat.
The Cheshire Cat. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So they'd do a DJ set, and then they'd have the Mad Tea Party Band come out, and they'd do a whole bunch of really popular pop and rock covers.
It was so much fun.
It was a really good time.
It was a big reason why I got my pass. I'm not even gonna lie. When me and one of my friends got our passes, we had gone for her birthday. We went to Mad Tea on her birthday, and we were like, what is this place? What is going on? Like, this is so weird, but we had so much fun just like watching people dance. And then that next weekend, we were like, I wish we could go back and do that again. Yeah. And that's the reason why we got our pass. So that was something fun we could do on the weekend.
Yeah. So I had already had my pass when I'd seen it for the first time, but Kenzie and I had gone through the parks. We were just, tooting around the park and ended up over there when the sun went down. And we hear the bass bumping. I'm like, is that a rave over there? So I walk over and I see, the first thing I saw was the Mad Tea Party set up on the stage. So the White Rabbit DJ, his DJ booth was a teacup. The whole facade was teapots and teacups, and it was very whimsical, very cartoony. But I'm like, okay, so one of my favorite movies, my favorite character is the Mad Hatter. They've got a DJ, which I'm all about that. People are dancing, people are having a good time, and then wait, you get to take a break and listen to an awesome cover band. Mm-hmm. Yep. Sign me up. So I literally, from that moment on, Kenzie and I walked through there, fell in love with the place, danced a little bit, made some friends that night. And then from then on, most of the times that I was meeting up with somebody, we met up at Mad Tea. We'd go there, dance, listen to the music, have some drinks, and then go about our business.
That was like a main area in the park where our relationship grew too. Yeah. That's where we spent all of our time.
Yeah. We were there a lot. Met
all of our friends.
Yeah. And people that we hang out with today, like Alvy, like we really, built our relationship on Mad Tea Party. Yeah. It was just a good common place to meet.
So the very first time I actually met up with people that I didn't know, that I was super nervous because I was like, I know these people online. Like, my mom always told me not to meet people that I met online. I met up with Moses and Terry.
Moses and Terry, yeah.
And we hung out at Mad Tea Party. And I have some of the funniest pictures of Moses from that night. Of
we'll
us
have to
just
find some of those
around. He had I had a pair of ears on. He was wearing them half of the night. That's where I met some of my best friends.
Some of you out there will know Moses.
That's my mom.
Moses hangs with a lot of different groups. That's he's kind of like
one
me,
of the sweetest human beings.
Good human. So yeah, we met a lot of really great people there. I remember our buddy Dave. Hey, Dave's here.
Dave's here.
If you don't know Dave, he's a riot, and he has a very unique sense of humor. But his favorite thing, and you'll find this in his home today, he would collect glow cubes.
Oh my!
Because in those Long Island iced teas, they'd put a glow cube in there, and it was literally a light up ice cube. He has them now, and he uses them in his home for decor. I mean, that's how big of a piece of our story that the Mad Tea Party had. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Now. Yeah, it's wild. With the White Rabbit DJ, let's talk about this for a minute. So the White Rabbit DJ was, they probably had a playlist they were supposed to be playing from. And luckily for us, it was a very robust playlist.
Yeah.
They were playing Cascade and David Guetta and all the really hot dance music from that time.
There was all kinds of shuffling going on.
Lots of shuffling. I danced a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I was dancing every single time I was there.
Sweaty.
Yeah. And, and that was the joy and the beauty of having the band as well, because we would go hard. And there was a big group of people that I would dance with, a lot of people. There was Reggie, there was Michael, there was Adon, there was, oh gosh, so many people.
Memory lane.
And it's funny because when I was looking through videos on YouTube, I actually found some videos that I was either in them, I was dancing in them, I was off to the side. There's a lot of videos out there because people were doing recap videos like crazy.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't something that was just for one age demographic, because with the band, you had 80s music, 90s music, 2000s, 2010s, current hits. And then with the DJ, you would have, club hits. So that can appeal to a lot of people. Yeah, the bangers. So it was fun because you would get such a big, diverse group of people. There were people that were my age, which I was older at the time, but all the way down to like 15, 16, up to, high school age kids that were, having just as much fun. And so it was kind of cool because the group that we kind of hung with, who would think that a guy in his, whatever 30s or whatever would be hanging out with a group of high school kids.
Yeah.
But it just, you always ended up in these big chunks of people. And if you were dancing, chances are you were dancing with a 40-year-old, you were dancing with a 15-year-old, and you were dancing with somebody in their mid 20s. Like it was just inevitable. Huge cross section of people. That's where we all met in the middle. It was kind of cool.
Our shared love.
Shared love. Yeah. For not only the music, but like, for me in my life, dance has always been a huge piece of me. And so being able to share dance and Disney at the same time, it was just a special place.
It really was. I make fun of it.
But we
it's
were
only
like,
because the pain is there.
I know, but we might joke about it, but we were in it. We were in it. We were beating up the beat. It was good times. So yeah, that was Mad Tea Party. But this is, I'm hoping that this isn't the last we will see of maybe not Mad Tea Party, but these Disneyland raves and rock shows. I'm hoping that they put something out maybe for a limited time, because
it would be fun to revive that era.
It would be, even if they did it for a little while. People are going to they'll put out a petition if they bring it back, to never let it go away again, because that's what Disneyland people do. We petition. I don't.
I have never, not once, signed a petition.
But I think it would be fun to bring something back like that, because it really was a good place for, meeting up with new people.
It doesn't have to be Mad Tea Party. They can, again, revamp it, do a different sort of overlay, and it's
do some sort
fun.
of Marvel theme.
Yeah.
They could.
Remember, we were talking about they should do like a Spider-Man's Homecoming.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
They can do a Disneyland Homecoming.
It could be like a prom or a homecoming.
Just contact us. This was our idea, but I swear we will give it to you.
You can have it. Take it.
For a small fee.
Of just nothing. Just love. Just love. Just give us something. No, it was a really good time. And I think that, a homecoming dance theme would be amazing. Decorate it in really cheesy, like high school decorations. And I think they could do a lot with that. It would be
so much fun.
It'd be really fun.
We should write a letter.
There you go, Disney. Take it.
Write a letter.
It's right there. Right at your fingertips. Because if I'm being honest, it's boring over there now. Boring. And it's very just disjointed.
Nothing feels like
no. It's gone through some changes in the past few years, and so it went from Tron to Mad Tea Party to
Frozen for a hot
Frozen
sec.
For a little bit, back to Mad Tea Party. Now it's got Marvel in there, but it also has Monsters Inc. and it's a mess. It's weird. So I think that hopefully they figure that part out, because it is such a cool area. They've got enough room for a stage, a couple stages, 3 stages actually, because when we were going, there was the side stage that's still there that they use for like high school performances and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. There was the big rectangle stage that they had the hottest deck on town and the Dueling Queens perform on. And then there was the main stage was where the Mad Tea Party band and the White Rabbit DJ played.
Yeah, that side stage is gone now. It's
all gone. Yeah, everything's gone. So it's really flat. It's really empty. They have one bar there still. So the bar, both the bars are still open. So you can get drinks in both of them. But there's just no
smaller one open.
There's nothing tying it together.
No,
so
I don't like it.
We're being patient. Disney. We're patient. We'll see what happens there. You'll get there. But I hope it's as fun, and I hope it's as impactful as Mad Tea Party was.
Yeah.
Because Mad Tea Party was such a special place for us to grow our relationship, to grow friendships that are still going on to this day. I'm excited to see what happens there.
Me too.
Nothing on the horizon, but we'll stay hopeful. All right, it's the last segment of the show. This is one of my favorites.
I like it too.
Yeah, a lot of people are digging this because, Walt Disney had a lot of things to say, and he was quoted quite a bit. Anywhere you look, there's a Walt Disney quote. So I found this one because, so you're going to find at Disneyland, there's a few different types of kids, different types of people, parents, whatever. Some kids are hanging off the ropes, hanging off the walls, just doing things they probably shouldn't be doing, but it is what it is. Then there's the good kids who just hang out and do nothing and just, take the day as it comes and have a great time. One thing that I've always said is it's really easy to keep kids out of trouble at Disneyland. Just engage with them and, tell them the history of of the area that you're in or the ride that you're going on, whatever attraction you're on or in or around. There's a lot of ways to keep kids out of trouble. And so this one came in handy because I've always felt this way. And so Walt said it very perfectly when he said, I have long felt that the way to keep children out of trouble is to keep them interested in things. So easy. And if you're at Disneyland with a kid that's maybe a little bit more rambunctious than others, and this, teach them. Talk about all the things that are going on around them, why Disneyland is the way it is, where it came from, how it started. And there's all kinds of resources. This podcast, there's shows on Disney Plus, keep them interested and they're going to be just fine. So have fun with your kids at Disneyland. It's the best place to be. So just enjoy it. Don't go in with any kind of crazy schedule or agenda.
Yeah.
Just have fun. Let the day go as it goes. You're going to find a lot more fun
as much as possible.
Sure.
But it's so much better when you just
and you can do it without but you can also do as much as you possibly want and still have fun. Just take it easy. Use the technology that exists. Use the app. Get the fast passes. Buy Max Pass for the day. If you don't have it on your pass, it's a great purchase.
It really
you get all
is.
your pictures. You get the fast pass with it. So yeah. So keep your kids interested. It'll be a lot better of a trip for you, I promise.
Agreed.
And with that, that's the end. We did it. Episode 5.
Hooray!
Man, we are really just so lucky to have all of you in our lives. We're getting stories of people listening to this at the gym, listening to it on their commute to work. Karin, we see you out there. Thank you for your picture today. People are really enjoying it and it's showing. We have so many downloads and I'm so excited. We're coming up on like 800 downloads. It's
I can't
nuts.
believe it.
I know. So I'm so excited, so thankful, so honored that you would keep us in your life in this way. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to have great guests on the show. We're going to talk about the things that you want to know about. We're going to bring back friends you've already met. We're going to introduce new people, new topics. And guess what we're going to start with next week? We're going to have a lot of music. Spoiler alert. I'm so excited. I can't wait. But yeah, on that note, if you have any comments or questions or suggestions on how to make the show better, we've gotten a lot of great feedback and a lot of ways to keep us improving. Or if you have any stories that you want to share with our audience, email us, magiconmainstreetpod@gmail.com. Also, follow us on Instagram. You can find us on Instagram at magiconmainpod. Also, become a Patreon subscriber for only $2 a month. I added a new tier. You're going to get early access. You'll never have to listen to ads, and you're going to be entered in our monthly giveaways. We're giving away something every single month. And trust me, we've built up a lot of really cool limited and exclusive merchandise that we're going to be just giving away.
Lots of stuff.
Plus, it'll help us keep this podcast going. I'm not going to lie when I say that this isn't free and it's not cheap. We're doing this as a service to all of you. And if you have a way to give back, do it this way. $2, pretty easy. Also, we took the time to do this calendar for you. So please use it. It's going to give you all the information on upcoming events, upcoming shows, different attractions opening up. We might throw some of the refurbishment stuff on there. It's a lot of information. But yeah, so just go to our show notes and click on that link. You'll be able to add it right to your phone. Also, make sure to subscribe. We've had a lot of people leaving us reviews. We've got a good amount right now, but we can always use more. This just helps us push our numbers up. It helps us push our show to the top, and it allows other people to really learn about what's going on at the parks, and it helps us to educate. And that's something that we're really, really passionate about. So share this with your Disney lovers in your lives, and please leave us a review. It'll take literally 30 seconds, and it means so much to us. So thank you so much for those who already have, and thank you in advance for those who will in the future. But on that note, on behalf of Tabitha, Daniel, Scar, the kid Kenzie, and myself, thank you so much for listening to the Magic on Main Street podcast. See you real soon.
Bye-bye.
And here you may savor the challenge and promise of the future.